DiNardo, Delicoli, Di Giovanni. 3 Italians. This is the Calcio Guys, the first episode on CJLO 6090 and CJLO.com. You just heard Nu Giorno Buon by Rocco Hunt. Gianni, that's a Napolitan artist right there. And you know what? He actually had a song in FIFA 17.
He did.
Sto bene così.
Really? That's rather fascinating. Unfortunately, I skipped FIFA 17, so I haven't actually had a chance to play it. But that's actually a fun fact. I'm probably going to go back and take a look at it.
He's a pretty good artist. I like him. It is a good day. Not too good of a day here in Montreal, but a good day to be talking about Calcio. We got some midweek games coming up. Big rivalries this weekend. Special guest later in the show from Milan Club Montreal.
Yes, you're hearing double. 5 years ago today, that was our first ever intro, the Calcio Guys. Back at it, Adreano, Gianni, and Nicholas.
You know, I still haven't played FIFA 17 yet.
We're still waiting.
I think it's a bit past its due now. Man, that's... Honestly, I wouldn't have thought 5 years ago that we'd be doing this for 5 years. We did... Oh! Where's that mute? 5 years later, still get technical difficulties.
It's always a good day.
5 years later, still get technical difficulties, but didn't think we'd be doing this for 5 years. Couldn't have done it with a better group of guys. I love you guys. Love talking Calcio with both of you.
You're making me blush.
I don't think I'd watch as much or be as passionate for Calcio as I would be without this. So, happy 5 years, guys. From the bottom of our hearts here at the Calcio Guys, thanks to everyone who listens. First of all, wouldn't do it without any of you. We've had a blast over this past 5 years. I've been talking too much. How are you guys doing?
Adrian, go
good,
first.
Man. We're good. We're here. 200 episodes. We're still here, guys. Like Nick said, and like I know Johnny feels the same way. It's just a blessing. We've been able to do this 200 episodes strong. Started off as like everybody knows who's been following us from day one. Underground radio, university radio station. We had our time slot every week. We'd be
Tuesdays
there.
at 2, I believe.
That's what it was, exactly. CJLO 1690. So we've come a long way from being a radio show to now the podcast that we know and love today. So like Nick said, guys, it's a big thanks to everybody who's continuously followed, liked, shared, subscribed, whatever it was, listened. Obviously, we appreciate it all. We always say it every week as we close our shows that without the support and without the camaraderie that we've had over these years with all the different connections, it doesn't go unnoticed, and we love and appreciate it all, everything from everyone. So big or small, the people that have been here since day one, you guys know who you are, so we appreciate you. And man, ready to talk more Calcio as we do every week.
Yeah, 5 years just flew by. Honestly, to be honest with you, we had to endure Juve winning 2 years first, and then Inter getting one. And then we had Milan and then Napoli. But But in all seriousness, when we started this, I just thought it was gonna be a fun little thing. Happy that we continued it though. We just basically took something that we're just gonna do for fun, and we're still doing it for fun. We're not expecting anything from this, but it has allowed us to connect with a lot of different people, really expand our networks, not just for just to talk about Calcio, but a bunch of other things. We've met some great people from different parts, like from Toronto, from the States, that we've just like bumped into and stuff, made the effort to meet and stuff. It's there's ants in the chat. The goody from Not Under. What time is it?
See, this is honestly what I've really enjoyed about doing the podcast, just meeting people through Twitter. I was active-ish on Twitter before doing the podcast, but it's not like I would ever interact with people. I would check it, tweet about soccer. No one would ever like or reply. And now, I could say I have a friend in Australia. Sorry, Anthony, I don't know I forget which part of Australia you're from, but I'm just going to generalize here, but yeah, we've met people. Richard came all the way to the studio, came all the way to Montreal. He was with his wife and his son. They were on a trip, and then reached out to us, and it so happened that we were recording that day, and he came in studio, which was an amazing experience. We've had my cousin Davide on from Italy. We've had an Italian journalist from Bologna on. We've had people from all over Canada, the US, as we just mentioned, Anthony from Australia. That's been the coolest part. And at the end of the day,
to like collaborate with them too on their respective pods and stuff too.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then at the end of the day, when we stopped the recording, we talked to these guys, and it's like, oh yeah, your family's like my family. Even Peter Curto found out his grandmother was from the town over from where my grandparents were from in Sicily, these two small towns. And for me, that's been the best part, just knowing these people outside the podcast.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, I think
go first, Adrian.
Johnny.
You first.
No, you know what? We're 5 years. We're going 5 years strong. We're still stumbling upon each other. But no, I agree. I totally agree. It's always been the biggest thing that I've always said. The camaraderie, right? Being able to connect with people, and we've never met these people, some of these people in person, but it's as if we've known each other for years on end. So I think it's just the beautiful game that's kind of brought us together, and despite who you support and what your beliefs are, I mean, that's all thrown aside, and it's true friendship at the end of the day. So again, Anthony from Australia, we see you, we appreciate you, and it's just amazing to see that we're able to connect with people from the other side of the world. So I saw Stefano Cioffi. Steph, again, we see you there in the chat as well. Thank you for the well wishes. Nick, is he number one in terms of caps on the Calcio Guys?
He might. I wanted to look that up today. I didn't have time. I'm gonna have to do that at some point this week to see who's had the most appearances. I could tell you who had our first appearance, and that was Marcello, Presidente Milan Club Montreal. Yes, Milan was about to play an Empoli that week. It was midweek games, just like how it is this week. We'll get into that later. But so 200 episodes, 5 years. We did our 100th episode on May 12th, 2021. And here on the Calcio Guys, we're famous for predicting stuff. I think our most famous one is Gianni saying Chiesa is going to be Italy's best player. And you said that back in either 2018 or 2019.
It was,
and
it was something like 20.
I think 2019.
Yeah, it was around early 2019.
Yeah. So we say a lot of things. So hopefully some things stick. So that was one case. But I'll have you have a listen on something that was said on our 100th episode. So hopefully this summer, Judy. Yeah. Hopefully on July. I think it's July 11th. The final. Hopefully on July 11th. We're all going to be on Saint Laurent in Little Italy, waving our Italy flags, celebrating a Euro victory like we did in 2006.
July 9, 2000 is over again, Christ. Holy shit.
So hopefully this summer, Judy. Yeah. Hopefully on July, I think it's July 11th, the final. I still got to get used to StreamYard to repeat songs. Anyways, that's exactly what happened. That was a lot of fun going to Little Italy with you guys. We have that picture that we posted on social media. And then as a reminder, this is what our episode on July 14th sounded like after they won.
Siamo noi, I campioni d'Europa, siamo noi, i campioni d'Europa, siamo noi.
So guys, like Gianni just said, each of us got to see a Scudetto plus a Euro win. Yeah. Did you guys ever think you'd see a Scudetto? I know, Gianni, you spoke about this for the longest time. You wanted to see a Napoli Scudetto. I mean, yeah.
It was something that throughout the years, always being the bridesmaid, never the bride, it was being built up towards, and all the stars aligned last season. Milan had a slump. Their best players were constantly injured. Inter was trying to salvage something with Lukaku and just wasn't working out for them. And the inconsistencies with Lautaro Martinez was very hurtful for them. Juve, going through Allegriisms. It just the stars are just perfectly aligned for Napoli to win the Scudetto. Got hot at the right time. Things were clicking, had surprise factors like Kvaratskhelia come in and steal the show for a bit and catch the league on their back foot, having them need to do an adjustment period for him, stuff like that. Kim just locking down that backline pairing. Yeah, first Champions League someday coming. You know what, Stefano? I hope so. I hope so. That would be nice. But one day at a time. Then we got the league. We got through that hump. Now let's try to develop consistency in champions. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's something that I was just joking. I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna win it soon. But I had a small belief that it's it's always gonna be the big three. But it was nice to see. I don't think it's. Hopefully, it's not the last that I'm gonna see in my life. But it's definitely not gonna be. For me personally, I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. But even during that time, I even saw Roma win the Conference League. I seen one of my teams win a European title. That's something that I never thought I was going to see in my life. I know it's the third tier. I get it. It's not the Champions League nor Europa, but just the fact that I saw them first of all even play a Europa League final last year and win a European trophy the year before that. It was something that felt very nice. It was like a span of like 2020 Coppa Italia for Napoli, 2021 Italy wins the Euro, 2022 Conference League for Roma, 2023 Napoli wins the Scudetto. So let's see what 2024 is going to bring. Hopefully one of my other teams wins the trophy again.
Another Euro win.
Fuck. Who could be
another Euro win. It's pretty crazy to think we saw Italy win a Euro, and then they've also missed the World Cup in the 5 years that we've been doing this podcast. And Canada has made the World Cup. If you told us back in 2018, September 25th, 2018, that would happen, that Italy would miss another World Cup, Canada would qualify, and Italy would win the Euros, we'd say you're crazy. And there'd be a global pandemic. You're crazy. What's happening? But we don't always talk about soccer on this show. Sometimes I just got to find it. Sometimes we also need to have the il professore of the group, Gianni, remind us what words exist and don't exist.
Where this is actual just a purest form, which is about experimentation. So I'm not super excited about
experimentation. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah, in St. Michel it is. I don't know.
I think experimentation is a word.
Okay.
Experimentation is a.
So is it a word, guys? Is it in the dictionary?
Look it up right now. The process of performing a scientific procedure, especially in a laboratory, to determine something. Did you ever think Rome was going to win the tree trophy back then? You know what? Honestly, the Florenzi photo with the tree trophy, still gets to me sometimes. Funny point, Stefano. Funny point. I'll give you that.
Oh man, when was that? 2019.
2019.
That was before the pandemic.
Yeah,
oh man,
2019. That was a preseason tournament in 2019.
Yeah. Oh man, that was funny.
The bonsai
tree.
Remember Jerry Mancini just constantly posting about the bonsai tree on Twitter?
It went viral.
Oh man, Jerry. Another one that we've had on a few times. Just shout out also to all the guests that we've had on. I know quickly mentioned it before. Steph, Anthony, shout out to you guys for taking your time. We're literally three guys from Montreal that people take time out of their lives. We know how busy all our lives are as adults, and they take time out of their lives just to talk about some sport across the ocean. So thanks to them.
I'm on my homework right now while we're doing our show, to be honest.
And we do have an alter ego. It's called the Cucina Guys. This is how it started. This clip from September 30th, 2020. So 3 years ago, this is the first reference to the Cucina guys.
He's the type of player that he adds to the win. He's he's a slice of the bread of the whole sandwich. Let's say he's not the entire sandwich. He's not the trio.
You shouldn't be paying 50 million for a piece of mortadella then.
No, but you pay for
you
the
want the whole
potential that he could
sandwich.
bring.
What I do think is that we have a future with this Cucina guys. With all these culinary references, the Cucina guys coming to an ear near you.
Which player were we talking about?
No idea.
Do you want to guess?
50 million?
50?
50 million.
50 million. 2020?
Kids, no.
No.
50 million.
In 2020.
To which team?
That's the thing. Which I'm trying to.
He wasn't transferred in 2020. It was rumors.
Rumors for 50
rumors. I forget.
Yeah, if it was rumors,
my memory escapes me.
If I tell you where he plays now, do you think you'll guess?
Sure.
Go for it.
He plays for Atletico now.
Morata. No.
Plays for Atletico.
DePaul.
Yes, Rodrigo DePaul.
DePaul, of course.
Yeah.
Our infamous DePaul.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about how much he's worth. I said if he's a top player, he should be carrying a club like Udinese at least past the relegation zone, because at that point, I'm guessing in the 2019-2020 season, they were near the bottom, or at least at the start of that season, they were near the bottom. I said, if you're going to be a top player, you got to carry them at least past the relegation zone. And look, he didn't make the move in Serie A, transferred a year later for 35 million. He's a role player. He's a squad player. 5 goals in 69 games with Atletico. So he's not at the star level he was with Udinese. He was good with Udinese. It's just he wasn't that type of player. Like if one of our clubs got him, I think we would have been a bit disappointed with how it turned out. But anyways, he's World Cup winner, DePaul, and he's a part of the sandwich at Atletico. And then I wanted to play one last clip. Thank you. Calcio with Reno Zed. Agorissimi. Congrats, guys. Well done. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I just wanted to play one last clip. Besides Cucina guys, we are good at dancing. We like music here on the podcast.
Yo, this is Johnny. I don't know if you noticed it, but Nick is
I haven't.
God, did you see the song? And I'm like, which one was it? And he sends the video, the whole 9 yards. I go check it out, and I'm like, na 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 na, and I'm bouncing.
Now we're all gonna have the song stuck in our head. C'est la vie by Colin. I think that has to go down as the best goal song. I know Milan. Milan has.
We're just being a bunch of degenerates.
Oh my God!
That was from January 28th, 2021. So we've definitely had some good moments on in this podcast. Throwing it back to 5 years ago, I wanted to play a little quiz time. You guys know I like my quizzes here on the Calcio Guys, and I know Gianni likes quizzes. So we'll do a little throwback edition. Serie A was just completed their Matchday 5 when we started that first episode on it was a Tuesday. Which team was in 6th place? Because
six.
No, maybe I could reword this better. Which team? Because now Lecce is in 3rd place, so they come out of the blue. They're in 3rd place. Which team was in 6th place then?
Spal.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, good
Got
job.
it.
Yep.
Spal. I remember we thought that they were flying at the beginning of that season. I remember.
Yeah, exactly. They did survive relegation. I don't know. They finished mid-table. I think they got relegated the year after, if I'm not mistaken. The pandemic season. 4 teams from that year in 2018, 2019 aren't in the Serie A anymore. Besides Spal, can you name the 3 others?
Brescia.
No, they were not in. They did not play that year. They came up the year after.
2018,
Uh,
2019?
No, Frosinone is in Serie A, the Serie Adreano.
Fuck, they're in the not Brescia. Chievo.
Chievo Verona.
Yeah, Chievo. I don't even know if they exist anymore.
I don't think so. So Spal, Chievo.
2 more.
Who the hell was the other two?
Brescia wasn't. No, Brescia came afterwards. You're right. Thinking.
Chievo, Spal.
Wasn't Bari.
No, they were not. No, they were not in the league that year.
Been up there since. Right now Sampdoria.
Sampi, exactly.
Sampdoria right now.
Right.
It's hard because you never think Sampdoria to be relegated back to Serie A, but they are.
Yeah, it's
Especially
weird
for being such a strong club in the 90s. It's
so much history.
And then
not Venezia.
Sampdoria. Chievo Verona.
Cagliari is here. You're gonna have to tell us the last one. I'm blanking.
Hold on, wait. I'm not giving up just yet.
We need to put on a show, guys. We're live on YouTube, guys. We need to put on a show.
Can I give you a hint, Gianni?
Is it? Wait, is it? No. Hold on. It's not. It's not Benevento. No, Benevento came later.
I think they were already down at that point. I don't think
they were down. They came up and then they went back down again.
Yeah.
They had that one amazing game versus Juve, and I remember tweeting that.
Was it Pescara?
No, they were not.
No, that wasn't Pescara.
It was just another amazing team from the 90s. I'll give you that hint, Gianni.
Another amazing team from the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Parma.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. So Chievo, Parma, Spal, Samp.
Man, I miss
no more in Serie A. I miss Chievo for the memes. They were such a meme team that year. I'm pretty sure they started minus 3 points.
True.
Yeah, they were awful. Right. They were awful. They had
Pellissier.
They one of the teams actually had a cross city rival. You had the Milan derby, the Roman derby, the Torino derby, and then you got the Verona derby. Hellas Chievo, but I don't think that's going to happen for a while. On that topic, who was the first coach fired? Or rather, if you could give me there was actually 2 coaches fired on the same day. If you want to give me the 2 teams.
Oh my God.
If you remember their names, not Andrea Zoli.
Was it
the
Bologna?
Other one? What's his name?
Fired their coach?
No.
Was it Bologna or Genoa that fired their coach?
Genoa was one of them, yeah.
Was it?
Genoa?
Oh, it was Madonna. What's his name? Ballardini.
Yes, exactly.
Ballardini.
Genoa was one of them. The other one was.
And the other one.
We just mentioned it. We just mentioned the team.
It was Parma?
No.
D'Aversa.
No,
not D'Aversa. Shout out to D'Aversa. He's doing well right now, but my manager of the month last month. But going back into the past, Ballardini and
Chievo Verona. I don't even remember this coach, but Lorenzo Danna.
Oh, Danna, yeah.
So they each got fired on October 9th, actually. So pretty early in the season. And
Rudy Garcia is next.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll talk about that later. So. Just got a couple of more 2018, 2019 quiz questions. If anyone's watching, they want to participate. Only one coach has stayed with his team ever since. I think this is an easy one.
Allegri? Well,
no.
Stayed. Oh, Inzaghi.
No.
Oh, Inzaghi came afterwards. It's true. Conte had a team. When we're saying stayed with the team.
From when?
Oh, Gasperini.
Yeah, exactly. Gasperini.
Yeah.
And do you know the 4 other coaches that are still in the league? With the same team, 3 with other teams.
Well, there was, like I said, Allegri.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Sarri,
yeah.
No, he was not coaching that year.
He was coaching Napoli that year.
No, it was Ancelotti.
No, it was Ancelotti.
Yeah, but
he was
Ancelotti
2019. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but No, Saudi was he? Yeah, he was at Juve though. No, he was at Chelsea.
No.
He was at Chelsea.
Yes,
before,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Chelsea.
He
yeah,
was
because he
coaching
won Europa
Chelsea.
League. He won Europa League with Chelsea.
So Gasperini, Allegri.
There's two more, right? You said, Nick. Well, Inzaghi was coaching Lazio.
Inzaghi.
Yeah, Inzaghi. So Gasperini, Allegri, Inzaghi, and then two more.
Two more. Where's a good one? This is
Francesco.
A really good one. Yeah, Eusebio Di Francesco.
Di Francesco.
He was coaching Roma at the time, and I hated him coaching Roma.
Yes, if you want to. I did not write him down, actually, because I don't think he finished the season. So,
that's a bonus.
Yeah, okay, it's a bonus question. That's a bonus, yeah.
D'Aversa, was he there or not?
Yes, that's exactly. D'Aversa was coaching Parma.
Stefano wrote in the chat Pioli.
Pioli, he wasn't
was
there.
Pioli? Well, no.
Okay, so you know what, Steph? Yes, he is right. I have the list of coaches who finished the season, actually. So Pioli is one of them. So there are a couple of coaches. Also, Andrea Zoli, who's coaching Empoli now. He did start off the season with Empoli. But was fired on November 5th. So Pioli, he resigned on April 9th. So he was with Fiorentina. So he's with Milan. So I was looking at the list of coaches who ended the season. So thanks, guys, for reminding me that these coaches still did exist, like Di Francesco. But the other one, Claudio Ranieri, he finished with Roma that year, and he's coaching Cagliari this year.
Jesus, you're right.
Yeah.
I think they made him an honorary citizen, no?
Yeah. So very interesting to see. Not too many coaches. Even though Serie A likes to recycle their coaches, it's still more than half the league has new coaches.
But it's like that in almost all sports. If you look at the NHL, they constantly go through the same cycle of coaches too for their teams.
Yeah. And one last question, guys. I hope you guys know this one. Who was capocannoniere that season, 2018-2019?
2018-2019. Ciro.
Was that the Ronaldo? No, was that the Ronaldo year?
No.
Ciro.
No.
Fabio.
Yeah.
Fabio.
Barella.
Yeah. It was Fabio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that year he went on a tear, if I'm not mistaken. No, he went
the year afterwards too. He was still going strong.
Got called up
second,
to national
but he was still going strong.
He really hit a peak there, and then he's dipped off since. Obviously, with age, it's just normal life. Is he retired now? I guess he's retired, right?
I think so.
So I remember looking him up the other day. I think I read somewhere that he just he finished playing.
I think they just parted ways, and they just. I think I think he said he's done, if I'm not mistaken, because I saw on Instagram way back when, and but again, hey, what a hell of a career.
He's listed as a free agent, but I mean,
okay. So yeah, they probably just parted ways then.
Yeah, he'll probably show up in your pickup league, Johnny, just like that Montreal Impact player.
In disguise though.
And then look at that little Nonino costume that he wore in Guilty Goal.
Yeah. Oh man, what a player, Don Fabio.
Yeah. His last game ever was versus Napoli, so I think that was a good sign off last year. Thank you, Steph, and they did a ceremony for him during the game. Think he's done? Yeah. It makes sense. I guess he just doesn't want to officially call it quit.
But according to this, he did say though he's willing to sign a contract to help Sampdoria climb back up to Serie A.
Yeah,
it makes sense because in Serie B, oh my God, the Roma player that went to Benevento to help them climb back up again. Maggio did the same thing.
Oh, Christian.
Did he play for Napoli?
Napoli.
He played for Napoli. They did a big sign-off thing for him. But then afterwards in Serie B, he signed for Benevento because I think that's his hometown team. Let me double-check this. I think it is. And Maggio tried to help them climb back up. Or, I don't think he even did a thing for Maggio, for Christian Maggio. And I think that was, one of the biggest things fans were kind of, irritated about. Anyways, that's neither here or there.
One last reminiscing question before we move on to the current times. We'll talk about Serie A.
He's
Gianni.
from Veneto. He's not from Benevento. He's not Beneventese. So I'm probably thinking of someone else.
Yeah.
I'm off.
Yeah, that's okay. I said Gianni, but I meant Adreano. Adreano, I think you should know this question. This answer, rather. Who scored 4 goals in a Coppa Italia win over Lecce that season?
Was it?
Jesus Christ! Was it that already?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom?
Yeah.
Piontek?
Exactly.
You have that?
Exactly.
You have that?
Exactly.
Wow.
The moment he said 4 goals versus Lecce, I'm like, I know who it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. In Coppa Italia. And listen back to your reaction, Adriano, to his first goals with Milan.
They're going to be on a losing. Oh,
Go! Piontek! Go! Il pistolero! Go!
I'm going to shut off your mic soon, Adriano.
Oh my God!
that went from here
Live
to
during
there.
the show. Live during the show.
I
Tuesday.
had it on. What do you want from me? I had it on as we were recording.
I think it was it versus Napoli?
Yeah, I want to say yes. But I don't remember. All I remember is that I was watching it. We were in the studio. I had it on while we were recording, and you know me, guys. I can't contain myself. So, what a time it was when it lasted for Piontek and Milan. But it went pretty south pretty quick after that. So, luckily that's in the past.
Do you have the amount of times we swore live on air?
Who started that trend off, Johnny? Can you remind us?
That's why we had to switch to a podcast. But
we had no filter.
It's not because you graduated from the journalism program and we don't have any access to the radio station anymore.
In pandemic, we weren't going to go there anyways. True. We stayed home. But yeah, Adri was he in Serie A. Piontek played against Napoli on January 26, 2019. It was 0-0 game. And then 3 days later in the Coppa Italia, he scored 2 goals. Mm-hmm. So that's what that game was. January 29th, it was during the week. One last shout out also, CJLO. We got, as we mentioned at the start, we got the start there. Thanks to Allison for accepting our application at the beginning. For supporting us, we got, I think, 2 awards. No, we got 1 award from there for like best sports radio show in 2018, 2019. That was a great feeling. We have a picture of the 3 of us with that award. I love doing the shows there just because it felt so professional. We had proper mics. It was a good dynamic when we were like physically sitting in front of each other too. I had the board and everything, like mixing songs, mixing sound clips. Like it was amazing. StreamYard offers the similar service, but yeah, it's different.
No, I think it was just we had some limitations, but I think we still had our own free roam in there, which, going into it, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I mean, obviously Nick kind of gave us a debriefing of what to do, what to say, and what to kind of expect. And once we got comfortable, I think we just took it over. And, again, big shout out to them, CJLO. Like Nick said, giving us our start, accepting, 3 wise guys like us on Tuesdays afternoons at 2 for a cultural show that, they didn't have to accept, and they did. So again, we're always grateful and blessed for that opportunity. And again, just it was on us obviously to take it to another level. And I think slowly but surely we've done that along the way over these 200 episodes. So again, CJLO, big thank you to you guys. Man, we'll never forget where we started.
Back to 2023 Serie A match day 5. Let's start with Lecce, guys. We just talked about Spal, 6th place. After 5 games, then they did finish mid-table, but Lecce's in 3rd place, which is actually pretty crazy. 3rd place, not 6th place. It's 3rd place. I think tomorrow is a huge game for them against you.
Wonder why they're in 3rd place? Baschirotto, that's why.
That guy's massive.
Straight from the farms, ready to go.
No, that's farmer strength right there. That's a farm boy strength right there.
Is he from that area? Is he a southern boy?
Is he from Puglia? Let's see, Baschirotto.
I don't.
Was it Davide? Davide Baschirotto?
That's Federico.
Federico. I don't think he's from there,
Isola della
but
Scala. Isola della Scala. Where the fuck is Isola della Scala?
look it up. Look it up.
No, it's in Veneto.
Oh, he's only a month older than me.
Yeah. He's a northerner.
He's from Veneto.
Oh, okay.
It's a small town in Veneto. So yeah, probably a farmer. But imagine him just bullying players on the international team.
Don't get that started. We're gonna get Calcio Twitter's gonna be inflamed.
No, we need Basketotto to start in the back line.
No. We don't need him to play.
Number 9.
We don't need him to play. We need him to show up to the room and yell at guys.
Oh my god.
To wake up.
I'm telling you, we have a CB problem. Let's just start Basketotto. Nobody's gonna try to bully through the middle. He's just gonna be there as a unit, just ready to go.
I don't know if you guys saw. There was a video that came out. I mean, I don't follow rugby or anything, but I think there's the World Cup now, and the Italian team. There was a player that gave a speech in the dressing room before a game, and he's just yelling and he's just saying, motivational stuff. But it's like I was ready to run through a brick wall for him. You got this muscular guy giving this amazing speech. It's like Basketotto could be him. I apologize. I don't know which player that was. Again, don't follow rugby or anything, but I think Italy's decent at it, but whatever. So Lecce did beat Genoa. So the thing is, you look at Lecce. Okay, they tied Monza 1-1. They beat Salernitana 2-0. Salernitana bottom of the table. Tied Fiorentina 2-2, which was probably their best result, and they 2-1 versus Lazio. So they started off good against two good teams. 2-1 versus Lazio, 2-2 Fiorentina. Since then, yes, they've been getting the points they need against bottom of the table. But that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow against Juve, tomorrow's a huge game for them. If they're a legitimate team, they're going to pick up points tomorrow. I know Juve just lost to Sassuolo, and they're going to be on a bounce back, and that was a very frustrating game for Juve. Awful performance from Chesney and Gatti. Gatti with worst pass ever.
Blunder of the year.
I don't know, his controller broke or something. But
just Chesney just standing there watching it go in.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of? You know what it reminded me of? Remember when Spalletti last year was like giving a clap to the ref and the ref gave him a red and he was just standing there like.
Or when he had his hand out and he
looked like Mike Wazowski.
the hand.
Yeah, but like awful performance from Juve, but like this is a 3-4 matchup tomorrow. So if Lecce is serious, they need to pick up points tomorrow. If not, I think they'll be happy with the middle of the table result in the season regardless. But they want to stay at that top as long as they could. I think it was Calcio Brutti. Is it? I believe so.
Barone. No, Gianni, look that up. Is it? I forget now. Is it Di Francesco their coach? Sorry to cut you off, Nick. Go on.
No worries.
I forget.
Frosinone?
No, it's D'Aversa.
No. Huh? Oh, it's D'Aversa. So,
it's D'Aversa.
You're right. Sorry. Okay, sorry. You said Calciatori Brutti?
Yeah, I think they posted like the stats of Leicester after 5 games in 15-16 is the exact same points and record as Lecce now. I'm not saying Lecce is going to go out and win the Serie A, but just, it's a funny point to make.
Incoming.
Yeah. And what Leicester...
Now, Lecce Scudetto, kicks and picks, guys.
No, you have to put your bets in before the season started.
If Lecce wins the Scudetto, that's another Scudetto for the South. Then Serie A is going to make rules to have no more Southern teams in the league.
Teroni unite.
Seriously, the South will rise again.
We're here.
But I lost my train of thought.
Siamo noi, I Teroni dell'Italia. Siamo noi.
I lost my train of thought.
Calciatori Brutti.
Well, Leicester did that season. They beat the big clubs. They beat the Liverpools. They beat the Man U's. So if Lecce wants any sort of participation in the top, they need to win 3 points tomorrow. Even get a draw. as Juventus fan. I hope we destroy them and remind them, okay, you're a mid-table team, But it'll be a better game than I think people expected, and it's the game of the day tomorrow. I think it's the only game on tomorrow, so a little Tuesday night football action.
It's in Torino or it's
for
in
Lecce.
Lecce? It's in Torino or it's in
Lecce? It's in Torino.
Man, not that that matters these days, but I'm just curious. No, but for real, like after what we've been seeing at the Allianz, I mean, it's no longer a fortress.
No,
it's like San Siro back in the banter eras. It was no longer a fortress. Now slowly, I think with Inter and Milan, they're kind of making it that fortress again. Juve's.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of fallen off. And you know what? Again, like I said, shout out to D'Aversa. Earlier on in the episode, I said it. But again, manager of the month last month. A coach that probably was, I don't know, like he's had his past in Serie A, as we mentioned, as we rolled back the years a bit to open the show. I mean, it's a guy who's had a job and lost a job within the same season, who's kind of bounced around, and he found himself at Lecce. And I mean, listen, we're getting ahead of ourselves if we're really saying they're going to really do damage. But hey, you know what? A good start to the season for these mid-table teams is always a positive. So, you know what? For them, they have nothing to lose, in my opinion. So, should be an interesting one. Is it the only game tomorrow, or it's just the biggest game?
No, it's the only game, and then there's 6 more on Wednesday and 3 more on Thursday.
That's it.
Do you have anything to add, Gianni, or talk about another game?
Let's move on. I was setting. You reminded me that there was a game tomorrow, so I was setting my Fanta lineup before it was too late.
Lazio 1-1 Monza and Torino 1-1 Roma. The Roman teams are in 13th and 15th now, I believe. Complete opposite starts for them than Lecce. Gianni, you're the Roma. You're the Romanista here. I mean, what's happening with Roma? I can tell you what's happening with Lazio. I think we all know. Sarri and
but
we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. Gianni, Roma, what's happening?
Oh, Roma right now, they're like I said, they're still trying to find their ground. They won their game in Europa League. They won the game against Empoli. Torino game, fine. It was a 1-1. Lukaku scored in the previous 3 games for Roma, by the way. That's something that needs to be said. He's I know like to make a joke about the La Caca and just mess up some plays and stuff, but what was it? Somebody said, "Oh man, I can't wait to see him in Europa League final just to see him screw up as well." I'm like, "Oh my god, if Roma gets back there and that happens, I'm gonna flip my shit and I'll be like, yep, it's karma for making jokes to Interisti." But in all seriousness, I mean, results have been getting better. If you look at recent history, they've been starting to find their footing a bit. Not too worried. It's about time after that Milan showing where they just seemed like as if they just weren't like a great team at all, and obviously their league play is showing that. Well, we'll see. I feel more confident in Roma finding their footing and getting better than Napoli right now, to be honest with you. I think Roma is getting into the groove of things. I don't think Mourinho has lost anybody yet. I think everyone still believes in his cause. I don't think there's any issues between the coaches and the players. I don't think anybody is. I think the only frustrations is not from, oh, I blame you and you. It's not with amongst them. I think their only frustrations is themselves as a unit. They know that they can be better, and they're just frustrated that it's not coming. So if they kind of go back to their bread and butters, each individual player and what they're good with, I think they'll find their way again. So I don't think they're going to perpetually be in the bottom 10 this season. It doesn't make sense if you look at the team on paper. Obviously, strange things can happen, but the quality's there. Maybe something along the winter, maybe something they do like they replace Rui Patricio. I think Rui Patricio right now is the weak link. And it's funny, a friend of mine, I don't think he listens to us, but I'm still going to name drop him. This guy named Anthony Mello. when Roma first signed Rui Patricio 2 years ago, he messaged me. He's like, oh, that's like, he's like, oh, you're gonna see that he's very inconsistent. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know. He's like, he's like, when I used to watch him, there was games where he like just make these boneheaded mistakes, and I found that weird because in his first season with Roma, he was making these high danger saves. That was like, oh my god, like maybe he's finding his ground. And then now in second, like it's this season right now, it's like the third season, it's like it's been terrible. It's been a horrible start for him. So but then again, Roma doesn't make moves in the winter, so I doubt it. I highly doubt something happens then. But I guess it's pretty much what they're stuck with till then. So that's probably the only very big question mark and worry that I have at Roma right now, which is the keeper situation.
And Adrian, you're about to say something about Lazio. What I was going to say about Lazio, for me, I think it's Sadi. Already before the season, he was making excuses about the schedules and that. We know he struggles with player rotation. Lazio's always struggled with squad depth when they have to play in Champions League. Already some players are missing training due to fatigue. I think they've just fallen back down to earth. Last year was a good season for them. They're falling back down to earth. I don't expect them to be mid-table come end of season. I expect them to be, 7, 8, 6 maybe. But yeah, I don't think they have what it takes to get into the top 4. But what were you going to say before?
No, it's a shame because I predicted them to be on that bubble of 4 or 5, depending who wants him more at the end of the season between them and Juve. That's kind of how I had seen it. And it just baffles my mind because, again, I know it's not won and lost on paper, but, there is quality on this team. Yes, you lose the biggest piece. We've said it time and time again with SMS leaving. I mean, and not really, maybe making like a like-for-like replacement on that. But still, there is quality on this team. It's a shame that, and our Lazzali friends say it. I mean, our boy Nando. I mean, it's crazy. We get these notifications of muscle fatigue, and the team is already like worn out. Guys, it's match day 5. Like it can be. For me, it baffles my mind. Like that it's started off so badly for Lazio. I thought they would have a bit of a better start. Didn't expect anything like this. Because for me, the pieces are there. Even if it's not to a man what it was last season, there hasn't really been many changes besides SMS. They've added a couple pieces as well, some depth additions, which obviously they were lacking. This Castellano, so are we ever going to see him with heavy duty minutes? I don't know. They drain Cheeto every match. So again, for me, we're gonna blame Saudi. Obviously, it's the easiest thing to blame. But again, besides the coach, I don't know, like the players too, they look like they have cement boots on sometimes. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a mental thing or if it is this whole Saudi effect that's really screwing with them. But something needs to change and fast, because if it continues like this, I don't see how much longer, this kind of play can continue. Dropping points, like you said, to Lecce early on. And that was a game where Lecce came back with 2 late goals to stun Lazio. I believe at home it was at the Olimpico. So these things can't happen for a team like Lazio. Maybe you're right, Nick. Maybe it is that they're coming down to earth a bit. Last season was, one of their better years in recent years. So maybe that is the case. But just for it to be that much of a steep drop, for me, it still doesn't make sense. But again, I don't know, and I don't see a change at coach happening anywhere in this season. For me, it would happen probably at the end of the season, because I think it's a risk. Who you're gonna bring? Who you're gonna adapt to? Going forward into the season. So we'll see. But again, there is quality on this team, and I would like for it to be shown a bit more consistently. Just as a neutral and a fan of the league. So, yeah.
Before we move on to one of our other teams, I just wanted to quickly bring up Juve again. 4-2 versus Sassuolo. Just a game that, for sure,
Terrible.
You should win, but then you go down early 1-0, and I said it right away. Juve is not a team to come back. They don't come back, especially this Allegri version 2 team. They're a team, they need to score first, and sure, 12th minute, Lorente gets the goal. Just awful mistake by Szczesny. You don't expect that to happen to a professional goalie. You see that in Gianni's Sunday League or Tuesday League. And then good play by Chiesa to get to create the second goal. Second goal of the game, 1-1, and then right before halftime, Berardi 2-1. This, it's kind of like the Luis Alberto goal that was scored on the weekend before. Just a ton of space, turnover in the midfield, gets a ton of space, and just walks in. I think it was Gatti who made the bad pass to him, and then I think it's just on the midfielders. Locatelli's got to get on him. The other defenders have just got to close space. He's a professional footballer. You can't give him that much space. He's going to shoot. He's a good player, and he scores.
Especially,
exactly. He's going to score. So you go down 2-1 at half. Yes, Chiesa comes back and scores 78th minute, but you never felt like Juve was really in control of the game. And then Pinamonti in the 82nd minute, terrible rebound again by Szczesny. It's one of the basics of goalkeeping, of rebound control. Put it away. Don't put it right back in the middle. Sure, yes, defending could have been better. And then, of course, the fourth goal, the own goal, just Gatti. I was watching live, and I saw Szczesny. He's near the corner, and he passes it across, far pass. And my first thought is, why is he making such a far pass when there's guys right in front? And then I see Gatti pass back, and then if you watch on TV, Szczesny isn't in the frame yet, and I'm just like, wait, Szczesny's not there yet. And then I just see there's no goalie, and I'm like, shit. I had more situational awareness watching it on TV than those guys were there in the stadium. Sure, yeah, I am air-conditioned apartment. I'm sitting on my couch. I haven't been playing soccer for 90 minutes, but I'm also not paid to do that. They got to be better.
That was terrible. Terrible. I mean, wonder of the year, I say. I mean, it has to be. It's going to have to be. It's all over Twitter. It's going viral. It's trending. I
wonder if it's on SportsCenter, not top 10.
It probably will be. Probably will be at some point. No, man, you nailed it on all the points. I mean, it just embarrassing because I was at home, right? Or
no, it was in Sassuolo.
It was in Sassuolo. But still, I mean, needs to be better. I mean, you name more mistakes, you name more negatives than positives. Just in that debriefing of the game. So
the one positive, Chiesa.
Yeah, but even at that, it's overshadowed by all the negative, unfortunately, right? So, again, it's one game, sure. Juve can't make this a trend if they're serious about, top four and how much they want to push, down the stretch. So I'm curious to see how they rebound tomorrow, like we said earlier, against Lecce. But again, it's not going to be easy. I don't know, but if I'm Allegri, and I don't know what the prediction for the formation is tomorrow for Juve. I don't know. I don't follow Juve in the slightest, and I'm not in the Juve world. But I would, if I'm Allegri, I would put back Gatti on the pitch, because for me, you just ruin a player's psyche after a terrible performance like that. For them just to be demoralized, maybe it's the wrong option. Maybe it is. I'm not going to say I'm not a coach, so I'm not paid to do it, like Nick said. But just to get his confidence back to just to on par, because it's not going to exceed, and I don't think it can go any lower. Just for it to be back on par, I think you put him back into this game. Maybe not from the get-go, but somewhere you have to get him back into this game. He has to get back onto the pitch as soon as possible. Put that up behind him, because he has to be able to adapt. So I don't know what the formations are looking like for tomorrow's game. I haven't followed, but Gatti has to get in there for me. Maybe that's a controversial take. I'll take it. I don't care, but because who are you going to put? Rugani? Alexandro's out. I think I heard. Danilo is good. Obviously Bremer, but I think Gatti still needs minutes in this game just to put things behind him and not make it get to him mentally, because if not, it's just a downward spiral of negativity for a player like him, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I see that point, but considering it was like 3 days ago when there was another game on the weekend, I'd rather sit even Chesney, start pairing. I think Juve fans have been saying a while. Like for me, Pedin's the better shot stopper. I think Chesney is better at playing the ball out and all that. You could blame him too for the pass to Gatti, but overall he is better with passing. But at least we're not Napoli, right, Gianni? At least we're not Napoli. Two wins, 2 draws, and a loss this season, coming off a second straight draw against Bologna. That was a weird game, 0-0. Osimhen comes off. He's yelling at the coach. Already talk now of two. Yeah, you're saying 2 strikers. Already talk now of Rudy Garcia's job. Is it secure Napoli? I don't think you hire a guy and then fire him, this soon in the season, especially for a top club like Napoli when you have Champions League. But yeah, he's not a star coach. Like there was questions right when he was hired, right, Gianni? So this is weird. I think the players also need to step up. Guevara hasn't scored since March 19th. I don't know. What do you make of this situation?
Well, we have had this discussion before about the players themselves specifically. Like I said, Kvaratskhelia needs. I feel like what it is that he also needs activation on the left side. Kind of sucks when Rudy Garcia starts Oliveira over Mario Rui, a player who's got better offensive sense than Oliveira. So Kvaratskhelia doesn't know how to do the 1-2 link up with whoever he has on his left. And it's not like I said before for Kavisha. He's trying. The guy's trying. He's not trying. Like he's putting in the effort. He's putting in the attempts. He's putting in the dribbles. It's not the guy. It's not from a lack of effort. The talent is there. Eventually, it'll come through. But it's going to be some frustrations, and it still is. So in terms of like the Napoli, it's the ups and downs, the draws in the league, but they win in Champions. But even the win in Champions, it came off an own goal. So it's something that when they're going to go up against Real Madrid, they're going to get eaten alive. They're going to get dismantled. I have zero confidence when they play against Real Madrid. I think it's going to be like a 3-0 beating from Real, especially with that center back pairing. That's another hole in itself, but I digress. Maybe Natan had a decent game. So hopefully, he might be the turnaround of things, but I don't think he can do it by himself. Definitely also you should like play guys like Hayuste. I think he deserves more. I think he deserves starts over being subbed in. Osimhen, yeah, so last game, gets subbed off, and I think it was like the 89th minute or
88, yeah, 87, 88,
89th minute, 86 minutes. Sorry, I looked it up just now. 86 minute. He wasn't having a great game at all, but you're at a 0-0 game and it's against Bologna. You got to keep your best players on, and Osimhen can keep playing. He was verbally frustrated with Rudy Garcia. So today, there was a news release that came out that Osimhen at the practice was trying to get everybody motivated and be positive about things. He said, yes, I did have an argument, or I was frustrated with the coach, but it was frustrations because I want to win, not because not because of anything personal. He's like, because I want to win. Yeah, exactly.
I think you see that a lot in sports, right? These guys are so competitive. You don't get to a level.
At the highest of levels.
You need to be competitive. You need to be. You shouldn't be a top level athlete with whatever sport you're in without being competitive. I'm sorry. Like I said many times before, a trophy is a trophy. You're playing for whatever competition you're in. You play for that trophy. At the end of the day, it's an accolade. There's bonuses tied to it. Your salary is based on success. And, as an athlete, you spend your whole career building up towards this. You want to find the most success possible. So a guy like Osimhen has the full right to be frustrated because even Kvaratskhelia, like in that game where you tied 1-1, like he can be against Genoa, he could be the difference maker. Who needs a pick me up goal? Kvaratskhelia needs a pick me up goal. Osimhen, especially like I understand like a guy like Osimhen, for example, like because I've been in those situations too where I play games or let's say I was in a more offensive role where like I want that goal. It's like I know I can capable of scoring that goal and it can make the difference, and I'm just not getting it. And then you just never get that opportunity, and it's frustrating because like no fuck, like I'm better than this. That.
Yeah.
And Osimhen knows that. He won Capo Cannonieri last year. It's not like guys. It's you have to understand the team doesn't go good one season and ghosts the next season. Like there's a fundamental issue. I think that Garcia's system. I'm not saying Garcia is a terrible coach. I just don't think he fits Napoli. Now, is his job secure? De Laurentiis came out and he seemed okay with the result between Napoli and Bologna, and I honestly don't know why. He would say something like that. It's completely stupid. I think he's backing up Garcia because remember what I said earlier in the year, like De Laurentiis to fire Garcia would be him admitting a mistake that he hired the wrong coach, and he's too proud of a man to do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think this is it. I think he's backing him up because he doesn't want to admit the fact that he hired the wrong coach for the team. Foxtrot, Forza Napoli sempre. I agree. I'm still going to support the team and stuff. I think maybe Garcia rides to the end of the year, which is not going to be fun. It's going to be a frustrating season for Napoli so far. It has been that way, and unless they get all together, get to the drawing board, come up with something, try out something new. Let's see what happens. I think honestly, maybe Napoli should try something like a 4-4-2, because I feel like as if the players are trying to roll with Spalletti's system, but it's not Spalletti behind it. So the 4-2-3-1 is not working out. The 4-3-3 is not working out. Maybe try a 4-4-2, but it's going to be weird because you're going to be basically playing with two strikers, unless you want to use Kvaratskhelia as your other striker. That could be something cool because Kvaratskhelia tends to like just lean towards the wings, but you can put him there more centered. You could probably work 1-2 off Osimhen and whatnot. And also, you have guys like Raspadori and Simeone that can be their subs for that. You could play Politano out wide. Well, so you could put guys like for the left side. It might be a bit off if you do a 4-4-2, but that's because I'm thinking about it. Yeah, who's going to play on that left? But either way, mix and match, try out something. Because right now the current formation is not working out with the team. I feel like as if once they establish a formation that works well with all of them, then the results are going to come. It just looks like a big hot mess right now.
They're going through the motions. It seems like a bit.
Yeah, but no players are being activated. Everyone feels like as if they're on an island. That's the thing. There's no fluidity. The only fluidity I saw literally is that's why I'm saying about Cayuste, because when Cayuste came on against when they played against Genoa, Cayuste was one of the he got that primary assist and he got a secondary assist on the goals because he was quick on the pass to Zielinski, who chipped it over to Politano, and he was quick on the pass to Raspadori, who scored the goal. Like he just put it right in their spot. Like he had a great sense of things, and it happens when they're all driven down deep, and they're in the tight spaces. That's why I'm saying like he deserves more looks. I like what he brings to the field. I like what he like his decision making. I think honestly speaking, like if you could find a way to squeeze him in, and like I said, try that 4-4-2. But I digress. Or 4-1-2-1-2. If you want to try to make it more of a put like Anguissa in their center mid spot, put Zielinski in the offensive mid, and the two center mids you can probably put Lobotka and Cayuste. You could try something like that. And then up to you have
possibilities.
Up to you have Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen. Try that out. I mean, that's do something. That's what, at the end of the day, it comes down to doing something. Do something.
Yeah, because I don't see. I don't see. Rudy Garcia's footprint in this system right now. I feel like they're just really going through the motions of last season. There's just a different figure behind the bench. It happens to be Rudy Garcia, whereas last season it was Spalletti. So I don't know, because again, this is another thing. Like I said, like Lazio, and I don't want to compare, but quality on these teams. There is quality. MVP Capo Canninieri last season on this team. Not many changes. Obviously, some big losses. But again, I think it was also maybe not addressing, some of those losses. Like, Kim, a total diamond in the rough, best defender last season. He goes. You bring in Natan, which I think can have something there. I think there is something to be said with him. Haven't seen too much of him, but from what I think I've seen, and just what I've noticed and heard, I think there is some quality there. I don't know how much, but there is something there. But Juan Jesus, Rahmani, even Ostigard. I mean, I don't see many minutes for him either, but it's just not anything to write home about. So I don't know what it is. If it's Garcia, we're going to go blame Garcia because it's the easy thing. You can't fire the team, you can fire the coach, right? The famous saying. So we'll see. But again, I don't think, I'm going to back Gianni up on this. I don't think a change, even though probably fans, especially here in North America, want Garcia out as soon as possible. I just don't know if that is realistic. And again, I'm not saying that Garcia has done well. I don't think. I think him too. He's kind of going through the motions and kind of hasn't really set in yet. And it's like, buddy, it's match day 5 going on match day 6. There's champions. Coppa Italia is around the corner. So I don't know when you're going to get up to speed with this, but we need, Napoli needs you. So, like just on the Osimhen point again, I agree. At that high of a level, your best player, or one of, if you want to say, I have no problem with him being competitive like that. You talk back to the coach, you do all that, probably not. But again, he apologized. He was professional about it after the fact. He wants to win. He just was on such a high last season, and all these players were. And you see Cavara doing the hand motion after everything that goes wrong. I mean, he sees it too. He's frustrated. These players are frustrated. They went on such a high last season. They saw what it means to win a Scudetto for Napoli in Naples, right? So for having this start, I mean, it's obviously not ideal. But again, there's a lot to be played. And I think this is a team that will be in the race for top 4 and in those top 4 positions come the end of the year. I still stand true to that. We'll see again how it is at the end of the year, but something needs to change. Just like I said with Lazio, with Sarri, with Garcia, something has to change because this guy is still on the snooze button. He hasn't woken up yet. So we'll see. It should be interesting.
And last game before we wrap it up, Adri, Milan with the 1-0 win over Verona in those unique alternate jerseys for Milan.
Cotton
8th minute goal. Cotton candy, rainbow, however you want to call it. Leao, 8th minute, and then Milan cruise to the win. 1-0 over Verona. I mean, they'll take this over a 5-1 loss any day of the week. And especially after, tying Newcastle 0-0, 1-0. I don't know. Were you nervous at any point that Verona would come back, or, watching this, were you comfortable, Adri?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think we had to turn the page pretty quickly. Obviously, like you said, the derby was the derby. We spoke about that. It sucked. It was terrible, but we had to put it behind us. The Newcastle game, we spoke about it again last week with Martino. Not the result we wanted. Should have been more, but again, we put it behind us. And in this game, I think, going against Verona, we've done, if I'm not mistaken, pretty well against them. I think, they haven't won in San Siro in over 20 attempts or something like that. So, the crowd was into it. Had a bit of a delay after those spooky conditions in Milano, and it was just terrible, terrible weather. But once the game got going, Leao being Leao, our best player, it's no secret anymore. He's a top player, not only on this team but in this league. but again, you still wanted more as a fan. We don't have Iron Mike between the sticks. Sportiello had to come in, and again, chapeau to him. Make some timely saves, some crazy reflex saves, and keeps us into this game. He's a veteran player, so we really had to put a lot of faith and trust in a guy like him, and he delivered. But on the goal, I mean, it was just one of those plays that worked. Kind of recuperating that ball, quick turnaround, Leao speed and finesse. When he's on in front of goal is second to none. So we got that, but again, it's something like I said, fans, especially myself, wanted more. We're not satisfied with a 1-0 result. Why do we have to sweat through 80 odd minutes plus to go down the stretch? There were other opportunities, but again, Giroud can be playing every minute of every possible game for Milan. There needs to be a rotation. And again, I don't know if Pioli is falling under that stubborn category in terms of substitutions and making guys rest and get other minutes for other players. But we need to see more, I think. Obviously, a guy like Jovic needs more minutes. Adli needs extremely more minutes. We haven't seen him. He might maybe play on Wednesday. We'll see. But yeah, no, I think overall, at the end of the day, the 3 points are the 3 points, and that's all that we really care about after what the team went through past 2 match days in Champions and in the league. And you stay competitive. You're in second place, 3 points behind rivals Inter, who also picked up a 1-0 result over the weekend. So, and again, love him or hate him, or love the team or hate the team. Again, shout out to DiMarco, a hell of a goal. I mean, you can't really knock anything on that. That was just another beautiful DiMarco trademark left foot strike. So, but yeah,
it was offside though.
Was it?
I don't know. There was someone standing in front. I think it was Bastoni. He was standing in front of the goalie.
A lot of people were saying Bastoni was standing from the goalie, but I've been seeing things that apparently it was just a camera trick. But who knows?
Yeah.
Well, no, sometimes
now it's a camera trick. I don't know.
No, time out, guys.
If Juventus did a camera trick like that,
front page of the camera trick like at the Mutari goal against Milan. That's the camera trick that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're fucking still putting it. We're still having it in our head.
Man, we talked about the pass in our first half of the episode.
It's the
but you didn't bring it up.
Camera trick ever. No, but I'm just saying. But I'm not even defending Inter. I'm just saying. Apparently, it was just because of the cameras were the perspective of things. But
I didn't see it. Sorry, okay, I didn't notice.
It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me unless Dumfries scores a goal.
But anyways, okay. If he was there or not, I mean, it is what it is now. It's passé. So DiMarco, again, hell of a goal. But again, what my point is that Inter, another top team, collecting the top points. Milan, wanting to be as competitive as possible. They do that with their win. They stay in second place, close to Inter, only 3 points back. So yeah, I mean, it is a positive, but again, there needs to be more in terms of Milan, in terms of the attack. I think guys are just, I don't want to say, fizzling out so soon, but because it's not possible that can be in my eyes. But I think guys need a bit of a rotation, like I was saying. Pulisic has played a lot. We want to see more of Chukwueze. We want to see more of Okafor, Jovic. I think these players need to get in. We had no choice but to bring in Bartesaghi, the 17-year-old Milan product debut in this game. So shout out to him. But we had no choice. Kalulu's still out, and Florenzi getting the start. We had no choice but to bring him in. So. Overall, again, I'm going to say it was nice to get the win. Early morning sometimes gives us trouble. These 6:30, 9 a.m. games sometimes give Milan trouble, but they got the job done, and our best players showed up. So you can't ask for much more. But going forward, like Wednesday can't be a trap game with Cagliari. It can't be one of those other trap games that Milan always seems to find themselves in, because on the weekend it's Lazio, and again, we can say what we want to say about Lazio, like we spoke about earlier, but for me, they're still a top team. They're still quality. They'll still give Milan trouble. So Milan has to be able to capitalize on their opportunities and continue managing their expectations, because again, the season is still long and there's still a lot of culture to be played. And I think at the end of it, they'll hopefully be fighting at the top. So yeah, positive.
So before we go Serie A Matchday 6, so it's actually the only midweek matchday this year in the Serie A, which is nice. I'm not a huge fan of this midweek for Serie A. It feels like midweek should be reserved for European competition or Coppa Italia, but not too many sexy games. Inter Sassuolo. Let's see if Berardi could repeat his masterpiece.
Killer.
Yeah. Napoli Udinese. We'll see if Napoli could bounce back. The Roman teams are Lazio Torino. So Torino just played Roma, and now they play Lazio, and then Genoa Roma. As I mentioned, Juve Lecce, Cagliari Milan. Really nothing special.
Who's Fiorentina playing?
Frosinone, Fiorentina, the battle of the Fs. But that's pretty much it, guys. 200 of these episodes. I've enjoyed every single one of them. I guess here's to 200 more. We'll see when we could get to another 250, probably a year from now, 300. Maybe when we reach 300, we'll be saying how Italy has won 2 Euros. And then Juve's won another Scudetto. But that's pretty much it, guys. Adri, I know you said this 200 times, but where can people find this on social media?
200 times, and I'll say it another 200 more if I have to, guys. It's just incredible. Again, a bit of a different, unique show today. The live on YouTube tonight. We don't always do these, but when we do, we try to make them as unique as possible in our own right. So again, it just a big thanks, and just a big thanks even for the people that reached out, even within these past couple of days. When we put out our posts, got a lot of feedback, got a lot of responses. Just shout out to everybody who were in the comments. Alessandro from Interviews Pod also reached out. Again, I wanted to shout him out. Our boy Gianmarco too, over there. He reached out, saying that he listened to last episode, couldn't wait for tonight. Hopefully we delivered for you, buddy. We appreciate all the support. But again, guys, like we say every week, I always sound like a broken record, but I'll continue to do so for the pod. Follow us, guys. That's the biggest thing that we need. Follow us at the Calcio Guys on all social media platforms. Instagram, Twitter, or X. I don't know what people are saying these days, and I don't care. For me, it's Twitter, so I say Twitter. Facebook, YouTube, guys, subscribe on YouTube, post notifications. I try to get those numbers up a bit. We just appreciate all the support for all the socials, all the interactions, likes, comments, messages, DMs, guys. We appreciate it all. For the audio version of the podcast, again, like we say every week, on all your favorite podcasting platforms. And man, I'm just over the moon. We've done 200 of these, and again, like I said, hopefully to another 200 more with great company as always. And again, the list goes so deep for all the guests that we've had on from day one till now. Just to name them all would be insane, but you guys know who you are. We appreciate you. We always see you. And yeah, there's not much more to say. But yeah, we'll be back live next week to talk a lot more Calcio, and again, much love from us.
Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
Bye.